Okay, the last question here, what areas of life you specialize in other words, what can we approach you for, right? If I'm having this trouble, can you really help me? We will find out when we will have the session, obviously, because my expertise would be limited. But the point about coaching is not that the coach has answers to all of your questions. It's about the idea that somebody is eager to help you to go through it and achieve your success. Like, for example, give you an example. When I was a teenager, about 13 years old, my coach in running, I was running semi-professionally, she saw my potential more than I saw it myself. So I was satisfied with my results, but she said, push harder, right? You can do better. And one day she just struck me. It was a competition day. It wasn't just a training. And I came to run and she said, today you're going to run 600 meters less than 1 minute 40. And at that time, as a young teenager, I was running 600 meters for 1 minute 43 seconds. That was my best result. And that distance, which is not too long and not too short, but not too long, 3 seconds was a big thing. It was a really big thing. I was like, how I'm gonna do it? You know, it's impossible. But I ran. And as I was running, you know, we did certain exercises that could detect that you're running not exactly in the, you know, you're not gonna do it, basically. I was running, I knew it's not possible. As I was running also, I knew it's not possible. Because I felt the rhythm, I felt the speed. And then the last 100 meters, when you actually see the finish line, and you see all the coaches and all the crowd cheering, I saw her with this, with a clock. You know, she was timing me, and she looked at me, and I saw her. We made eye contact about 60 meters away. And because of our relationship, which was very loving, I did an extra push just for her. I did something like extraordinary out of my best. Like this last 60 meters, I ran like anything. I did 100%, even more than 100%, to give it out just for her, to please her. That was the idea. And when I crossed the finish line, and she stopped the clock, and she showed me, it showed 139.9. 0.1 second. And I did it, what she asked me for. And I would never have done it myself. I knew it. So that's the idea of what coach is. Coach is your best friend. If you have the relationship with the coach, if you open it, if it's a hard connection, then you can try and you can over-exceed. You can become a better version of yourself with having a good coach. And in my opinion, the good coach is somebody who really loves to listen empathically and who can really tune in to what the needs are and support you on that journey. Even if we're not going to master it to the top goal, we still would be better if we wouldn't do it together. And the areas that I specialize in, because that was the question, that was the background to answer that question. But the question, the areas I specialize in, which I can share my experience with, is in business, whether it's teamwork and certain dynamics within the team of the either corporate or small business, or even if you're self-employed, if you're an entrepreneur also. So that area I have some expertise, some advice, something that I may be sharing with you. Now the social dealings is probably like relationships, not just with wife or husband, but also with friends, you know, whoever. That's another area where I think I have the strengths that I can pull in to this area. Now spiritual journey, whatever spiritual journey you're on, I certainly can be contributive for you to become more faithful and dedicated within your spiritual tradition, to become closer to God and so forth. And health, yes, I'm somehow or other been healthy through all this journey. And the last 15 years as I'm vegetarian, I was only once in a hospital, twice. Once was a visit just with a concern after COVID, but that was fine. It was just like a visit and going back. Nothing happened, basically. I was okay. But there was a concern. But then just recently I got to hospital with pneumonia. After trip to India, it was pretty bad. It was double bacteria, and after the flight there was a lot of stress, and I had to admit to hospital for a few days. But otherwise from that, in 15 years I don't remember maybe even being sick, what to speak of going to hospital. So there's certain areas aspects how to live life, how to harmonize your sleeping, eating, and exercising, so that you become quite healthy in your you cannot be extremely healthy, you cannot be super healthy. Something will happen, like soon I'm gonna pull out the tooth, and things happen. So it's inevitable, it's life, we cannot avoid everything, but to live more healthy and more harmoniously, certainly we can harmonize those areas. The expertise where I don't have expertise at all, and please don't ask me for that because I don't have kids. If I would have children, I could help you with how to raise them and what tips to give, but hey, this is out of my expertise, and so I'm not gonna pretend that I know something. I love kids, I worked with them as a teenager, as a clown, as a pirate, as a Santa Claus and things like that. I love children, but just in my family we don't have kids with my wife, and so I'm not gonna be giving advices on that area. Please excuse me for that. What else? I guess this is like the main 4 areas, right? Health, social, relationships and family relationships and friends, work, career, and spirituality. Let's put those 4, so I can give in all 4 to the degree and to the experience and to the depth that I have. I certainly can share it with you and help you out. So this is it for today, and thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you there. Please book in. At the moment it's just on that email, venu@venucoaching.com. You can write me an email and try to book for a date, write your little story so we can know up front what's the deal, and we'll book you some time. And if that time that I mentioned doesn't suit your needs, we can try some other time if my schedule allows for that. What else? For your convenience, I'll maybe set up soon a calendar that you can just use the calendar instead of just writing an email. But the calendar will be integrated in the website once it will be finished. So I prefer just to wait for that, because anyway, all of my consultations really will start after 15 July. There's a little window that you can use right now between pretty much now and end of May. But I specifically mentioned certain dates in May when I will be more free. It's because I will be after the tooth surgery, and I don't know how it will go, the implantation thing. So I'm giving myself a little space there that I will not be able to speak properly. so better to use those time gap that I mentioned in that other video, the intro. Okay, thank you very much again, and all the best. Hopefully we'll gonna have a wonderful journey to become better versions of ourselves. Bye-bye.